my fellow brethren, my fellow brethren. Hopefully y'all enjoying whichever time zone y'all in. Just hopefully y'all enjoying your night. If you just woke up, your morning, and whichever. So hopefully y'all enjoying yourselves as you kick back. As we gotta get back to the table. We gotta rally up, and we gotta get to talking as usual, y'all. It's very important too. We just doing as we usually do. Just another day, another discussion, far removed from yet another. It was okay, decent pay-per-view, but subpar. But yeah, we have to, just as the pictures, the thumbnail, the description, the titles, just as it says. And I'm here to come to y'all to talk. Whoa. Pause. Oh my gosh, that joke. But I'm here today. We got to talk about, y'all. We got to talk about the championships. And I'm pretty sure not just any championships. We got to talk about the Raw championships. Well, not the Raw championship, the WWE championship, or just in general. Raw needs a champion. It's very obvious. Raw needs a champion. And what I mean by that, you need the main guy. Because when it comes to the split brand, I know they're still doing this split brand. I know I wanted to talk about that, but wait, what? Did I talk about that? I know I could have talked about it. I wanted to talk about it before, but as we see, they're still doing this split brand. So SmackDown, of course, we have Roman Reigns, and he has both titles, and we've heard, I've heard that pretty much that wasn't the original plan and stuff like that. That's a whole rabbit hole, but they pretty much bit themselves with multiple bullets. They set themselves up, screwed themselves completely when that happens. So now, especially going on with Vince, they beforehand, they didn't know what to do. Because Roman they gave him 2 titles now, so it's like I know he had his main championship before, but it's like now they've just squished themselves into a tight boxed corner. What is going to happen? What are they going to do? How is Roman Reigns gonna lose? Whether it's the WWE Championship, how are we going to get the WWE Championship off him? Because he's too hot right now. He's going on to one of the greatest runs of all time. It's legit. It's commendable. It's too powerful. And this is like, yeah, so talking about that, that goes into a whole nother, whether you want to say discussion or it's a whole nother topic itself. But yeah, they pretty much screwed themselves when that happened. When they put the WWE title also, if not, it wasn't already hard enough. Now you got the WWE title on Roman Reigns. So, yeah, Raw is left without a champion, and pretty much, it's been a while, a bit of time that has been happened, and I've heard already, it's going around already. We already talked about it, but no, we didn't. I don't think. No, we haven't talked. We haven't talked about it before. We haven't gone over the lines, but yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all heard. Also, I'm not just the only one that y'all tune into. Well, there's only one and only, but you get what I mean. But pretty sure y'all saw, but I saw it going around all around. Of course, even if not that, it's been a most talked about thing. How is WWE gonna get the championship? How are they going to get the championships off of Roman Reigns? How are they going to get the WWE title off Roman Reigns? And it's already being talked about. Apparently, Triple H, he's thinking about and he's doing this plan he has his own plan, which I'm not very fond of. Y'all know the whole history behind that. I don't think you gotta go into the archives for that. That's easy. Click on my channel and just go down. But I'm not a big fan of his booking. I've said this numerous times already. Before he became, head honcho, king of creative, I'm not a fan. I'm not necessarily a fan. I don't have faith. I don't think he has it in him. He's obviously he has bias too. There's a difference when it comes to between him and Vince McMahon. And I'm pretty sure. And we saw that. We saw when he was running NXT. We saw that. That's a perfect example. Just look at NXT from 2016. Wait, 2015. I want to say from 2015 to 2021, and that was pretty much before AEW became a thing. The big indie Daredevil indie midget circus. And so he has a plan summoned up of how he thinks and how they think that how are they gonna on how Roman Reigns is gonna lose the championships altogether. So I want to talk about that also, but I want to do a deeper dive into that. Just wait for that, but which is why I want to come right here when it comes to the Raw. Raw needs credible champions. That's why they put, they wear whether he's because he's one of their top stars right now. They don't really have a lot, so that's why Seth Rollins is the U.S. Championship as he is, because it's one of their top stars. But Raw, it needs a main champion. It needs the top guy. That star that holds it all together, that runs the brand, and basically, probably because it could still come after Roman Reigns, but that's a harder decision down the line. So just talking about Raw. They need another champion to run, to fill in the blanks. They need a champion that can carry their brand right now. Pretty much kind of be the other face, of Raw. And which is why I want to come here and talk about that right now. And I also want to give a quick shout out because I know people are kind of just as usual. But I know people are kind of on his head right now. It's all coming crashing down back to bite him. And, of course, I think he apologized. But, Braun Strowman got in a bit of his head last night. And, people are coming on him for what he said. I liked it also, especially what he said to Ali. Because, Ali acts like, he hasn't left catering. Like, dude, you're the king. You're the open door man for catering, so you're the virtual signal on all over Twitter. Like, please, Ali is just an embarrassing joke. So I'm glad I kind of chuckled a bit, or I like that. I really like that. Yeah, I don't like Braun Strowman, but of course he said a bit of other stuff that he was smoking some kind of ganja. It had to be very outworldly, but I like that. Yeah, these flippity floppity. Yeah, as y'all don't know that, the skinny, fat, the Daredevil geeky midgets that love to do, a whole 5 set of moves every 5 seconds. And, they love to hug nuts. Yeah, I don't. Y'all pretty much know what that is too. Even me going off that. So I commend Braun Strowman for coming at the indie, whether it's the fat cheetah soda drinking, nerds all over Twitter, everything, and also coming at the rest, the indie fags, are very commendable. I commend Braun for that. Which why I want to get into my next talk about, we want to go right straight into what I want to talk about now. Raw needs a legit champion, and not just any champion. I'm not talking about Johnny Gargano. I'm not talking about the Johnny Garganos. I'm not talking about Tommaso Ciampa. No, I don't know. Tommaso he looked like he can be unique, but he still pretty much relies on Go. I do one moonsault here, gonna do a dive here, and y'all know the silliness behind that. So you know, none of those, like I said, none of those puny fag grabbing marks. I don't like. We don't need those. All right, and I gotta say also, I'm kind of not that I really am, but I'm kind of surprised. And why I say that, I'm kind of taken back, kind of surprised because by now, I mean they kind of are. They have like a realm because they are kind of on the upper card, but I would have guessed by now, or even seen that because I saw it at first. Tommaso Ciampa, and then bringing back his guys. Triple H bringing back his guys. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. I would have thought that they would have already been top of the card. They're his top champions also as well. But it seems like Triple H is kind of. Last time I would have thought he would have gone far too to like take the championships off of the Usos, but of course that's not going to happen. Like stop. Especially like they're kind of protected right now, even though that's coming to an end. But they're kind of protected right now, of course, the longest they are because of Roman Reigns. But like I said, I will say that I'm kind of surprised because I was really expecting Triple H to do a complete 180. Just a straight a straight cartwheel. He was about to like put Johnny Gargano at the top of here, put Tommaso Ciampa over here. He's gonna run this, hit row on SmackDown. Like, I thought he was really gonna do really put pieces quickly in places, but no, Triple H is kind of being smart, and I can kind of, like I said, of course I still gotta be suspicious, but I will say that he is kind of being smart. Nobody wants the indie. Like I said, when it comes to that, and I pretty much made it like no one wants the indie fags. All right, nobody wants to see all that. No one cares. That's why the viewership is failing as it is right now. Like I said, y'all can cry and bitch as it is in the comments as y'all want to, but y'all knew it, which is why y'all touched by it to begin with, and Triple H knows, which is why you don't see like a whole immediately power shift as it is. So he's being kind of smart, and I know the thumbnails sees as it seems, but going back to what I said about a legit champion, Raw needs that. Raw needs a champion that is going to take the brand to a whole new level. A champion that's going to keep eyes not just on WWE, but a champion that could be that he's watched 24/7, that everybody is very entertained by him, very intrigued. Whether they love him or hate him, he gets all the praise. The spotlight is on him 24/7. Everybody wants from that person what they want. So, the man. That's what being a champion is all about. Also, having the individual look the part, whether it's not the look, what they talk, what they say on the mic, the presentation. I can go a lot of categories as I can, but that's a very few. The mic work, the presentation, the markability, all that, it all goes. It's a very slideshow, and it all adds up. And this is what a star actually has to have to look like a star, and this is what that individual needs, because all that comes into play, and it builds up the brand. It very much helps the brand, such as, and I know because I know there's some individuals, there's a group out there that hates. You hate when I bring it up. You hate. Last I do. I will say that obviously that periods they have their issues themselves. Like we know that such as the attitude or the ruthless aggression or the golden era. It's not all perfect when talking about wrestling in this case, but cry me a river. like bleed tears out of your eyelids. Listen, I can use like I know people are sick of that analogy when you like to go, oh, back in my day. Back in my day, champions looked like champions. You had The Rock, you had Stone Cold, people were very creative and original. You didn't have nobody, you didn't have the same 5 or 6 guys. They were doing the same move over and over. They were still on this move. And that's not even, very, like, as I'm making it as funny as it is. Yeah, like, guys, like, when you had guys like Stone Cold and The Rock and Triple H himself, Kane, like, they had their own set of move sets. Like, they had their, I said it all, and that's very crazy, too, because how you do a complete shift to now. We already know that. Me talking about this, we know that, what I just said, wrestlers like Stone Cold and The Rock, they all had their own unique look about them. The presentation, the mic work, the move set. Like I said, the way, like I said, like everything about them, it was completely different. It was distinguishable. Everybody looked what they wanted to look like. Nobody looked the same. They all had their own. They didn't imitate each other. So when I'm talking about when you want to go back, like whichever era, but I'm going to as an example, when you talk about like a guy like Stone Cold and then shift into a guy like The Rock, when they were going through their first years, especially, they had, and even before getting to that, they had to grind. Like Stone Cold before this, he was like damn near, he was like, and he put that into his drive. Like he had not only an engaging background, a story, and everything about his character, ruthless, aggressive, hell bent on getting that championship, on being on the top. And it took 8 years. He was like on his ass 8 years to get into the where he was at the time. And it played extremely well into his character, and going to the top to get to be on top of the world and to being the champion of all champions. Same with The Rock, like I think it was like 95, or what talk about one, like 1, 2, like for 4 or 5 years it took for him to really find his groove. Before they were chanting Rocky, they were pretty much booing and wanting him to get the hell out of there. And they did a full set, a complete new direction in that, because now you had everybody obsessed with The Rock. In 1999, that's when The Rock was hitting his stride, and everybody was like, he had the presentation, the shirts, the flashy shirts that looked like royalty, and the dress pants and everything like that, the glasses, the hair, the eyebrow, it's everything he delivered. And it was just like, it's like everybody loved that and was into him. Like I said, when you talk about it, like they have to, and I want to go into now, like I said, when a champion has that, they have that feeling about them. And it can't, like I said, it just can't be them just going after the title. They have a story that fits them, and they have to have, so it can all mesh together. Their story, their background, also going into it and such. It has to be a very interesting and intriguing premise for them to even, get to that point. With everything like that, and also that, and a feud also as well. Everything about it has to be very entertaining and intriguing. So when I talk about a champion, when Raw needs a champion, my few picks, like I said, I don't necessarily like, especially the character, because I think it's too meth heady, or it's a bit too goofy. And I feel like it's a ripoff of RVD. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all should know what I'm talking about. Matt Riddle. I don't necessarily kind of not like his character. the whole cracked out or just like kind of like a meth head kind of deal. Also, like I said, I also because when it comes to that, I don't like also characters that's just being regurgitated, reused, things like that. So, but he is. I can't lie. He is very. He gets it. That's one of the few guys. That's one of the very few people that gets it, and he's been able to do what he has to do, and that's why he's. He was put around. And I wanted to just talking about. I wanted to put, which is why I put the World Championship also. But I just wanted to put that up there to be a description. But yeah, oh, so totally random. But yeah, people love Matt Riddle. He's very entertaining. He has a character that's very distinguishable. You know, even though it's kind of not original, but it's still it's very distinguishable from everybody else. And yeah, pretty much everything about him is unique. And he can talk on the mic. He has a presentation, and like I said, he's very interesting. So yeah, like Matt Riddle, he has everything down to a T, and that's why I feel like he's one of the very few that should be in the run for that WWE title. He's worthy, and I'm pretty sure it's time for he can be in the run for a WWE title, and he can be a guy. Like I said, like probably like a very sort of a not saying just a percentage of people that would of the wrestling community would not agree, would disagree. What are you talking about? But like I said, I made a very good case. Matt Riddle, like I said, unlike almost everybody else in the locker room, I wanted to actually talk about Logan Paul and put him up in that category. Obviously, he has it all, but like I said before, I don't know if because they do have, like I said, they have it to where it's like Logan Paul, not she's just like a commodity, pretty much there to still like for just big events. I don't know like the full official plan for what they're gonna do with him, and like also even if it's not because he's injured right now and he's out, but Logan Paul isn't necessarily. I don't know. He might be full fledged into going into wrestling, but time will tell. So yeah, which is talking about Matt Riddle. He's definitely one of those guys that can measure up to that mantle. And also just Bobby Lashley. He has to look. He has the presentation. Everybody likes Bobby Lashley. It's a very, and he has one of the very distinct. So he's very an intimidating, crucial monster. He's like so. Yeah, like Bobby Lashley really improved himself a lot. So he can be also WWE champion also as well and carry the Raw brand also as well. Bobby Lashley, just like Matt Riddle, he's also still a credible champion. He's a proven commodity. He can still carry the Raw brand. He's one of the very few that can still, even I would still, I don't know, even like the World Championship, that would look good, very good. That would look hell of a lot of good on Bobby Lashley. I would say that they need to retire the Universal Championship. That Roman Reigns could have that belt. I was also gonna probably make a case, but I don't know. That's kind of like really going out there because as you already know, they got the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title, as the the mid card, upper card of I don't know, kind of like mid cards, but yeah, so they can make the Universal, bring back the World Championship, and make that one of the main titles, and they can probably use the Universals also. That could be one. That could be an upper card rather than a mid card. That can be one of another upper card, one of the titles. So that would really, the world title would really look good on Bobby Lashley. Because Bobby Lashley just screams stardom. Of course, he has it all. Also, Bobby Lashley is a great candidate, just like Matt Riddle, and one of the very few. And I would talk about more, but there's not, of course, obviously, there's not that very much to go around. Seth Rollins, even though he has the U.S. title, I don't very much feel like he's also just like Roman Reigns. He's at a point of where he's already proven himself. He's a proven commodity. He's a star, just like a Randy Orton. Seth Rollins, he doesn't need a title. He doesn't need to be in another run. It'll be just a good for a while, but as far as like carrying for a while right now, as far as carrying the brand and trying to improve the viewership, just overall WWE, just like, yeah, just trying to improve and garner back in the mainstream. As far as that, Seth Rollins, he's had his heyday. So this is as far as like being a new star, making a new star. And even though I don't have faith, of course, that's not really going to happen, of course, with Triple H in charge, but we can kind of see, because like I said, even though I'm going on a big stretch, Triple H necessarily, he hasn't really put the guys who he wants to, because he knows like that's not the way to go. That's incredibly idiotic. But you haven't necessarily seen Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa in that top role yet. So, he may was waiting for the perfect time, like I said, which is why I'm just kept on the suspicious side. But who knows? Triple H might do a full backflip, and hey, these indie midgets are not working. So let me just get an actual star who has charisma, who understand he could like have a character. He gets when it comes to actual entertainment of what you need to have. So pretty much gone over one of the basics, or just the whole full sprint. Bobby Lashley, Matt Riddle. There's like just a couple of I probably missed a few, but yeah, like I said, who asked? Also, like I said, who asked for Mia Mid, or whoever, Mia Yim? Who wanted that back? Who are asking for these? Like I said, just this useless. These useless. They add to catering. They don't add nothing to the show. Why are you bringing them back? Which is why I could bring, spoke too soon. But it's like, what do they have to? They're not gonna add unless they're gonna add to the overall entertainment. Unless they're gonna add to WWE's of what they need to go, because you have a long road. Triple H has a long road, and I said, like, don't become like Tony Khan. Like, don't be bringing too much people back to just be sitting around and clobber up time. Like I said, nobody can be on that. Like I said, not everybody needs to be on TV. And I do want to bury the ones myself. I do believe in that. Yeah, not everybody needs to be on TV. Everybody has their place. I say, like, for a specific reason, if you're going to be TV, if you're going to be on my television, if you're going to be in front of me, you need to show me what you can prove. And you already know, they already should know that. Character, charisma, all the above. You need to have that. Because if you don't, then why are you on TV? So like I said before, and like I'll continue to say, these returns, they're not going to matter. So, we need to build the talent that you already have. And not just the Roman stuff, the rumors and everything like that. I've also heard that Triple H is going to bring up another, he's getting ready to bring up a set of new stars from NXT. Basically, like, his version of who he feels that should be in the top spot and, stuff like that. And, basically, he's redoing the women's division. So, we'll see how that plays out. But, like I said, like, if you're going to bring somebody up from NXT, make sure it should also be, because they're in the running, make sure also it should be Cora Jade or someone like Carmelo, because they're kind of they also kind of get, but they still need work even though. But yeah, if you're gonna bring anybody up, they shouldn't already know the concept. That's also the problem too. Why are you bringing up people? Why are you bringing up wrestlers, just anybody, to the main roster if they don't add to the show? They're just still going to be in catering. Are they entertaining? Do they have, something that's going to grab my attention? Do they add, do they look like an actual star that can be very beneficial to the overall product? Because if they don't, then why are you bringing them up? Like, are they fully compete? Are they fully done out of the oven? So yeah, that's what I'm talking about and bringing to the table. You need to build the stars that you already have. Somebody, and one of the very few that you already have, like I just talked about, Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley. You also need, also when it comes to a Dexter Lumis, also as well. Build the stars that you already have on the brand. There's many of them. These were like returning wrestlers and shit. Bringing people from NXT when it's useless and they don't add to the overall show, WWE, then what's the point? So I'm gonna leave it right there. Who do y'all think is a worthy? Who do y'all think is the worthy? Should be a worthy to be of the WWE title? Who should be the top of the Raw brand or anything like that? Like I said, who do y'all think should be in that role? So I'm gonna leave it there. Obviously, when it talks about, I didn't talk about there, but when it comes to Roman Reigns, that's another discussion too. That's another deeper dive. Not to bring that in there, but yeah, like I just said, who do y'all think should be at the top of the Raw brand? Like, who do y'all think that should be in the next hunt to be the top guy of being the champion, world champion of Raw? So. Or if you want to go that far also as well, who do you also should think, should dethrone Roman Reigns? But, I'm going to leave it there. Stay blessed, enjoy yourselves, and we'll be back again. Stay blessed.